Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It was one of those mornings on Live with Kelly and Mark, where the coffee was flowing, the cameras were rolling, and the banter between the co-hosts felt just a touch spicier than usual. Kelly Ripa, never one to let a perfectly good moment slip by without commentary, leaned back in her chair mid-segment and announced with mock exasperation, "You know what? I'm going to have to sit away from you." Mark Consuelos, her husband, of almost 3 decades and now her co-anchor in morning television's high-energy circus, looked both amused and a little guilty. The reason? He had just admitted, live on national TV, that he hadn't really been listening to what she'd been saying. Cue the collective, gasp and laughter from the studio audience. A morning routine that's anything but routine. The moment began innocently enough. During their trademark host chat segment, Kelly was in the middle of telling a story. She was animated, her hands gesturing wildly, her voice bouncing with that familiar rhythm fans have loved for years. Across the desk, Mark was nodding well, sort of. His eyes seemed focused. But in that glazed-over way people get when their minds wander mid-conversation. When she reached the climax of her anecdote and paused for his reaction, she got nothing, just a beat of silence and then a sheepish smile. From Mark, "Were you even listening to me?" she teased, narrowing her eyes. Mark chuckled, the kind of chuckle husbands everywhere know too well. "If I'm being honest," he began, "I might have tuned out for a second." The audience roared. Kelly slapped the desk in mock outrage. "That's it," she declared. "I'm moving my chair. I need to sit away from you." The banter. That works, because they're married. Kelly and Mark's chemistry is one of the main draws of the show since Mark took over as permanent co-host in 2023. Viewers get a double dose of connection. The easy camaraderie of co-hosts and the lived-in rhythm of a married couple who have weathered everything from diaper duty to international travel together. Moments like these where real-life quirks slip through the polished surface are gold for morning TV. "I swear, I listen to you most of the time," Mark insisted, holding up his hands defensively. "But you were just so calm. And then I started thinking about what we were going to talk about next." Kelly cut him off with a raised eyebrow. "Oh, so now it's my fault for being calm. That's rich." Their back and forth had the audience cackling, and social media lit up within minutes. Clips of the exchange were posted by Liv's official accounts, racking up thousands of comments from viewers who found the moment hilariously relatable. A peek behind the curtain later in the segment, Kelly leaned toward the camera and confided, "This is what it's like at home, too. I'll be telling a story about something important, something vital, and halfway through, he's already planning dinner in his head." Mark, not missing a beat, replied, "That's because I'm efficient. I multitask." Kelly shook her head. "That's not multitasking. That's ignoring your wife." This kind of transparency about their relationship dynamic is part of what has made their pairing on Live feel authentic. They aren't afraid to show that they, like any couple, have moments of distraction, disagreement, and lighthearted ribbing. When listening becomes the punchline for Kelly, the idea of moving away from Mark was less about physical distance and more about comedic effect. Throughout the rest of the hour, she played up the bit, leaning away from him during commercial teases, pretending to shield her microphone so he couldn't eavesdrop or ignore her stories. At one point, during a segment about cooking tips, she quipped, "You might want to pay attention, Mark, because this is the kind of thing you'll need to know when you're in the kitchen, and I'm not talking to you." The audience loved it. So did Mark, who gamely played along, even pretending to cup his ear dramatically when she spoke. Fans react. This is marriage in a nutshell. Viewers took to Instagram, formerly Twitter, and Facebook to share their thoughts. Many said, the exchange reminded them of their own relationships. "This is me and my husband 100%, one fan wrote. "He nods along and then asks me a question I literally just answered." Another joked, "Mark better start listening unless he wants to be broadcasting from the audience." Several longtime fans of Liv said these small, unscripted moments have brought new energy to the show since Mark joined. "It feels like we're getting invited into their kitchen table conversations every morning," one commenter observed. The art of the on-air save to his credit, Mark didn't get defensive. He leaned into the joke, which only made it funnier. Later in the broadcast, when the show returned from a commercial break, he dramatically scooted his chair a few inches farther from Kelly's, drawing more laughter. "See," Kelly said, "we're already making progress." This lighthearted approach is part of why the couple works so well together on television. Kelly, a seasoned morning show pro with more than 2 decades of hosting experience, knows how to turn a minor slip-up into an ongoing comedy thread. Mark, who spent years in front of the camera as an actor, understands the importance of playing the role, especially when the role is slightly guilty but charming husband. The reality of working with your spouse. For many couples, working together might sound like a recipe for chaos. For Kelly and Mark, it's become a way to showcase not just their professional chops but their personal bond. Still, Kelly has been candid in past interviews about the adjustment period. Mark's a great listener sometimes, she told People earlier this year with a laugh. The tricky part is that when you're married, you already know each other's stories. So if I'm telling one he's heard before, I can see his eyes glaze over. Mark has admitted the same thing. I try to stay engaged, he said, but when you live together for 28 years, you've heard a lot of the same material. This makes moments like their on-air listening incident not just funny but also deeply relatable. Long-term couples everywhere understand the occasional selective hearing and the gentle teasing that often follows a morning show. In the world of morning television, where ratings can hinge on whether viewers feel connected to the hosts, authenticity matters. Kelly and Mark's exchange wasn't just a filler moment, it was a mini masterclass in how to turn real-life quirks into TV gold. By the end of the episode, the two had clearly made peace with the morning's listening mishap. In the final segment, Kelly leaned toward him and whispered something off mic. Mark burst out laughing. He said to the audience, "I was listening that time." Kelly gave him a sly smile. "I'll believe it when I see it." Why these moments keep viewers coming back. Television audiences have a sixth sense for authenticity. They can tell when something is overly scripted or when two people truly enjoy each other's company. Kelly and Mark's relationship brings a level of comfort and familiarity that makes their banter feel organic. In an era where many morning shows compete for attention with quick viral clips, the couple's dynamic is perfectly suited for the social media age. A playful jab here, a knowing glance there. It's content that fans can instantly relate to and share. And while Kelly might have been joking about moving her chair away, the truth is that this distance only made them seem closer. The takeaway: listen up. If there's a moral to this lighthearted morning saga, it's that really listening is as much an act of love as it is of attention. But as Kelly and Mark proved, even when you miss a detail or a whole story, laughter can bridge the gap. As the credits rolled on that day's episode, Kelly signed off with one last wink at the audience. "Join us tomorrow. If Mark's still here." Mark grinned. "I'll be here. I'll be listening, mostly." And with that, the couple who can turn even a lapse in attention into a moment of joy left viewers smiling, reminded once again why they tune in every morning.